never expected that it would devolve into this. Explaining this to our daughters has been about the worst experience of our lives. Little Liza, all of 10 years old, said to Ashley, "We should pray for the woman." It's a lot of wisdom from a 10-year-old. We mean no ill will.
Wow, hard to watch that, isn't it, if you're a parent? Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation as Supreme Court Justice was one of the most tumultuous in history.
Now our next guests are examining that fierce fight to take down Justice Kavanaugh in their new book, Justice on Trial.
The co-authors, Mollie Hemingway and Carrie Severino, join us now with an exclusive look at the book, which comes out tomorrow. Ladies, good morning to you.
Great to be here with you.
Mollie, what's the headline from this book?
Well, we wrote Justice on Trial because what happened last year with the Kavanaugh confirmation was one of the most important things to happen to the country. Millions of Americans were horrified as they saw not just what happened to this man, but what was happening to justice itself. We interviewed more than 100 people, including the president and other key figures at the White House, Supreme Court justices, dozens of senators, to get this exclusive inside look at what happened and why it was so important. And we learned, we were both involved in the Kavanaugh confirmation. I covered the story, but we were shocked by what we didn't know and what we learned through these interviews.
That's what I was going to ask, Carrie. I mean, I feel like I know the story because we watched it unfold in front of us, but there's a much bigger story behind the scenes of how it all played out.
Oh, sure. And one of the themes we saw going through this was really a story of courage on a lot of levels. Courage of the president, who a lot of people said, and with some support that, a lot of times presidents will just give up on something like this. And is he just going to cut and run? He didn't. He stuck behind his nominee. The courage of people like Ashley Kavanaugh, who was such an amazing force and strength for her own family and for even the people around her, even though she was the one who was going through this. You talk about the being a parent of children and what she had to go through to keep her family through that. Of Susan Collins, what a courageous stand that she was willing to take with a lot of bullying going on. So there were some really amazing stories of courage.
Now, Mollie, before y'all got together to write this book, were y'all friends in D.C.? And how did y'all decide to write this book?
It's really great that it worked so well. We knew each other a little bit, but we kind of went into it without knowing what it would be like to work together. But we had a blast, and we did have a lot of access, and we're very appreciative to have that.
And it's really a cautionary tale because you thought that was something to see. Just wait for the next one.
Absolutely. I mean, this was replacing Kennedy, who was a swing vote, with a Trump nominee. Imagine if the next vacancy is Justice Ginsburg. Replacing her with any nominee off of Trump's list would be a sea change on the court. And I think that's what why it's so important to see what happened before so we can learn the lessons now.
Well, and just get the factual accounting, because
Yes.
one of the things that was so horrible about what was going on was the advocacy role that the media played, basically running part of the anti-Kavanaugh process. So being able to get the actual facts out, what actually happened and what was significant, and even just being able to tell stories that the media were frankly covering up.
What actual advice did he get going in from the people who were trying to shepherd him through the process?
That was one of the interesting things. We learned he got a lot of conflicting advice. And he came out of the Bush administration, which had a certain way of being, but he was a Trump nominee. So one of his advisors kept on reminding him, you're a Trump nominee, you need to fight like it. And he did clearly take that course, and there was really no option. At some point, they were actually out to completely destroy the man's life, and he was just fighting for his own.
That was the powerful moment when he came out and really punched back. Was that his decision? Did someone else make that call? I mean, why was that the approach he took?
Yeah, there's so many great stories we tell, but that was one we really loved learning about, is the inside, him, again, with his conflicting advice, and then at the last moment, right before his testimony, really the room was cleared and saying, okay, this is basically you. This is your moment to save the nomination. So that was a really significant moment, and it's a powerful one. Yeah.
Mollie, do you think this changed the course or the way that we'll see trials in the future?
Well, it's another reason why we thought it was important to write Justice on Trial, because we know that this is the way things would happen. If they had succumbed, if all the people who were involved in securing the nomination had succumbed, this would absolutely be happening again. But it's important for Americans to kind of know what is going on with this activist group, activism on the left.
Mollie Hemingway, Carrie Severino, the book is Justice on Trial, comes out tomorrow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Very, very cool.